Why is it that survivors of narcissistic abuse or childhood trauma struggle to trust their own judgments and perceptions of themselves? This is a very important question, and the sooner you understand the reason why you have certain judgments about yourself that you keep believing in, which aren't true, the easier your life would be because you would let go of certain beliefs that really aren't true about yourselves. And the reason this topic comes up is because when something is not true about you, your outer reality is going to reflect that again and again. For example, if your childhood trauma made you believe that you are an unloyal person and you are a very loyal friend, your external environment will give you evidence that you are a loyal friend. Your friends would tell you that, your partner would tell you that, your boss would tell you that. So then you would start questioning the belief that you are unloyal because that was what you were taught right at the start by your initial caregivers or any narcissistic partner who came in your life. And it could be difficult for you to accept the belief that is right because you were forced to accept the belief that was wrong. Now, why does this happen? First, obviously, when we are a child, we want a good relationship with our initial caregivers. When that does not happen, we will settle for a bad relationship with our initial caregivers. Why? Because our initial caregivers, they were our world. We couldn't think of not having them in our reality because they were the ones who would clothe us, feed us, take care of us. They were our entire universe because at that time we didn't have a jobs, we couldn't pay for ourselves, we didn't understand certain societal rules of how to be in a society, how to what does it mean to be an adult. We didn't know any of that. So when we were young as children, we dependent on our initial caregivers for everything. So if we didn't have a good relationship with them, we settled for a bad relationship. If we had a bad relationship, um, even then we would stick around with our initial caregivers because having no relationship was as scary as being dead, which was unacceptable to the little child. So when people around you, they constantly criticize you, they dismiss your feelings, and they punish you for speaking up, this creates an internal dialogue within yourself, and you are forced to accept beliefs that aren't true. For example, you can imagine it like this. This is a wonderful analogy. So, every time you touched a hot stove, the expected reaction from an initial caregiver would be that don't touch this. This is extremely hot. This would be the expected reaction. If you were in a situation where there was a young child going and touching the hot stove, you would warn that child against doing it. But this is not what happened in your childhood. What happened was this: you went and you touched the hot stove and you expressed your immediate pain, saying that this is extremely hot. And your initial caregiver, instead of agreeing with you, said that, oh, this is not hot. You are overthinking this. This is not hot at all. This is not what it means. This is not what hot means. What has happened here? The initial caregiver has dismissed your pain. The initial caregiver has disagreed with you. And the initial caregiver has proposed a belief that is the opposite of what has happened. These three aspects combined together has made you doubt yourself, doubt your judgment, doubt your perception. Now, this is a straightforward example. Life is more complicated than this. When you were a little child, you couldn't confirm these beliefs with anyone, or even if you could confirm these beliefs with anyone, that person would have been outside your immediate circle of family members. Then it is that is also difficult for you to accept and believe. When we're very young, it's difficult to believe complete strangers because our complete faith lies in what our initial caregivers often tell us to believe. So, if you were taught to doubt yourself, at every given point of your life, then later on, when you become an adult, think about it. There are numerous decisions that we have to take every day. And if you're sitting and doubting yourself with respect to every one of them, how are you supposed to take very important and big life decisions? So, this is something that I'll leave you with. Think about it. Think about all the little beliefs and judgments that you have about yourself. And the first question that you need to ask yourself is, where is this coming from? Is this belief coming from my initial caregivers? Is this belief coming from a narcissistic partner in my life? Is this belief coming from childhood abuse and trauma that I had to endure? Or is this my own belief about myself? What are three things that you can do to make it easy for yourself? So, the first is if you've identified where the childhood abuse came from or who the narcissistic abuser was in your life, the first thing that you should do immediately is start maintaining psychological and emotional distance from this person. Uh, you need to make a decision in your mind that you will maintain this distance and stop sharing parts of your life with them. The second is to stop this internal debate that you have within yourself where you're doubting yourself all the time. Give yourself some compassion and space and tell yourself that whatever decision I made, whether right or wrong, it will be something that will be beneficial for me. And here is where trusting your intuition is a big aspect. So the more you develop your intuition, which can also happen as you develop your spiritual aspect, it can become easier for you to come to decisions quickly. And the third is to confide your situation and what happened to you with a trusted professional, not with friends. Friends don't have the capacity to help you. They will be able to help you in the area of expertise that they have. It's only when you confide in a trusted professional, whoever you believe in to be the right fit to help you, is when you will start recovering from these events. Because if you don't uncover them, if you don't find out what the truth is, you will always live in darkness. And that is not the right way to lead your life. This is as important as other areas of your life. And this is something that will greatly enhance the quality of your life. What is happening inside our soul, inside our mind, don't you think that's important? It's something that you can't see, but it is something so significant that you can't ignore. So I'm going to leave you with this thought and do look at your beliefs, write them down, and see which ones are yours, which ones aren't.